Hello everyone, welcome to Science Prodigy. Today we will be continuing ratio and proportion. In the last video we had done direct proportion, inverse proportion and even solved a few questions on them. If you have not checked them out, you can go to the playlist of Maths class 8 and there you will be getting the previous video. Today I will be just continuing the part of direct and inverse proportion, doing one question as a recapitulation of direct and inverse proportion and then moving forward to the next part, which is proportional parts. Just now we are just doing one problem. Let us check it out if it is of direct proportion or inverse proportion, because whenever you are solving proportions you have to understand very clearly whether the question is based on direct proportion or the question is based on inverse proportion. If you can understand that much, the way of solving the problems becomes far more easier. So let's check the question out. As you can see, the question says this, that 6 pipes are required to fill a tank in 1 hour 20 minutes. How long will it take if 5 pipes of the same type are used to fill the tank? So you can pause the video, solve this question and then check it out along with me. That will be far more beneficial. Alright. So as you can see, we have to first stress on the data and then we have to go for what it wants from us. So first of all, it has been given that 6 pipes take a time of 1 hour 20 minutes. Then what will be the time for 5 pipes of the same type? So same type is very important to be mentioned in the language part. Why? Because it cannot be any type of pipe. It should be the pipe having the same amount of flow of water. It's not that you take a different set of 5 pipes and it will yield the same result. So understanding the problem is equally more important. So 5 pipes of the same type, that means that yes, these pipes will be able to fill up the same way the earlier previous pipes were doing. That means we can apply proportions here, isn't it? So that first data is 6 pipes take 1 hour 20 minutes. So what will be the time taken by 5 pipes? This is the ultimate question in this part. Now we have to understand one thing, that 6 pipes are taking 1 hour 20 minutes. So 5 pipes means the number of pipes is reduced, which implies it will take more time because the amount of water is constant. The amount of water required to fill the tank is constant. That means 6 pipes was doing something. So now 5 pipes, the amount has been decreased. So they need more time to fill the same volume of water because volume of water is constant. So the moment you decrease the number of pipes, more amount of volume of water they need to supply. And as a result, due to the supply of more amount of volume from these 5 pipes each, the time taken will be more. So you can pretty well understand that this is something related to inverse proportionality, x inversely proportional to y. That means x is equals to k by y. xy is a constant where k is just a constant. So we can directly apply x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. Okay, last day also we discussed these relations and did questions, numericals on these sort of relations of direct proportion as well as inverse proportion. Now I am just rubbing this area and I will be doing it here. So x1 is 6 into time taken is 1 hour 20 minutes. So if we consider the data in minutes, it is nothing but 80 minutes, which is equals to x2 is 5 into y2. So the question is pretty easy. 6 into 80 by 5 is equal to y2. So 16 into 6, that means 6 is 36 and 96 minutes is the time taken. We can again find out and verify the answer with the fact that yes, time taken is more. Why? Because 96 minutes is nothing but 1 hour 36 minutes. So time taken is obviously more and hence verified. Okay. So now we will be discussing questions on proportional parts, that is when a particular amount or any particular quantity of things are distributed between certain number of people in a proportional manner into different parts, into 3 or 4 parts in a certain ratio. It is not necessary that they will be distributed equally, but if they are distributed in a certain ratio. So problems based on them are somehow classified as the problems of proportional parts, where we are actually dividing them in a certain proportion. So let's check out this problem to understand how to solve questions on proportional parts. The question says that to divide rupees 7040 among A, B and C in the ratio 1.5, 1 2/3 and 2 1/6. So now first of all, this is in mixed fraction, so just let us convert it into improper fraction so that finding the ratio becomes more easier. So converting them in improper fraction form, we see that it is nothing but 3/2 is to 5/3 is to 13/6. Now if we want to reduce it to the normal ratio instead of keeping it as a fraction, we know that we have to take the LCM. So LCM is pretty well understood that it is 6. So it is 3/2 into 6 is to 5/3 into 6 is to 13/6 into 6. Hence the ratio turns out to be 9 is to 10 is to 13. Now this first part is divided in which amount? If we add all three of them, 9 plus 10 plus 13, it is nothing but 23 plus 9, that is 32. So if we divide it in the ratio, that is the first part is 9/32 as a ratio, the share of the first part is, A's share is nothing but 9/32 of 7040. So just cancelling and reducing it to normal factors. A's share comes out to be rupees 1980. So I am just rubbing off this side and calculating B's share and A's share, just noting down the ratio over here, 9 is to 10 is to 13. So now for B's share, if we check it out, it is 10/32, that is 10/32 is the shared amount which B holds out of rupees 7040 into 7040. So after getting, we find that this value is 220. So this amount is rupees 2200, and for C's share, it is 13/32 into 7040. So the value is 2860. Okay. So providing the rupees sign is equally important to denote all of them. So as you can see, the second question I have just written the important data or the important part of the question, which says that a certain amount of money is divided in the ratio 5:8:1:11. And the second part, that is the 8 by this entire part, this second part has the value of rupees 424. Then you have to find out what is the total sum of money, and the second part is what is the ratio in which the first and the third part is divided, that is how much money is constituted in the first and the third part. So let's start the question. As you can see, it is also a question of proportional parts where it has been divided proportionally into 3 parts in a certain ratio. Okay. So first of all, if we can see, if we consider each of this part as, because it is in a certain ratio, if we consider each of the parts as 5x, 8x and 11x. Make sure to write rupees here. Now, the value of 5 plus 8 plus 11 is 24, and here as you can see, it has been given that the second part is 424. That means 8x is the second part. So the value of 8x is 424. So what is the value of x? We can easily understand this 8x 424, equating them. We find that it is 8 4s are 32. Sorry. And x is rupees, not rupees, x is just a quantity to determine the ratio. So x is, the value is 53. Now we have to first find out the total sum of money. That means 5 plus 8 plus 11x, right? So we have to find out the value of 24x. So 24x is 24 into 53 rupees. We have already found out the value of x. So calculating this, you see that it is 1272 rupees. This is the total amount. And from there, what is the first part? It is rupees 5x, that is 53 into 5. And the next part is 11x, that is the third part. It is 53 into 11 rupees. Which is rupees 583. So the total sum is 1272. First part is rupees 265 and the third part is rupees 582. So as you can see, this question says that divide rupees 4250 into 3 parts such that second is 80% of the first and the ratio between the first and the third is 5:8. So now as you can see, we have to work with this remaining data, that is what has been given to us. First of all, the ratio between the first and the third is 5:8. So if I consider them as 5x and the 5x and 8x, okay. Now the second one is 80% of the first. So it is very clear that it is 80% of 5x, right. So this is nothing but 4x, okay. So now as you can see, the total amount is 4250, that implies 4x plus 5x plus 8x is 4250. That means 17x is 4250. So x is 250. Hence, we have been asked to find all the three parts. So, the first part is 5x. It is 5 into 250, which is rupees 1250. Second part is 4x, which is 4 into 250, which is rupees 1000. And the third part is 8x, which is 8 into 250, that is rupees 2000. And here comes the three different parts of the question. So, the basic thing is you have to analyze the data, what has been given in the question, and then form the equations or the specific results based on what is given, because whatever is given will help you through the entire process of finding the answers. Okay. So, moving to the next question. So, this is the next question on proportional parts. It is a very common question, means this sort of questions of this particular type is often asked in examinations and you will find it in every textbook. Okay. So, that is the question is, a purse contains rupees 5, rupees 2 and rupees 1 coins in the ratio 1:3:5, and the total value of all these coins is rupees 272. So, find the number of each type of coins, that is how many rupee 5 coins are there, how many rupees 2 coins are there, how many rupee 1 coins are there. So, you have to find each type, provided it is also stated what is the total value and in which ratio they are. So, you can pretty well understand how to do the question, because you have gone through the previous question. So, it is of the same type, but this is a very common question often asked. Okay. So, if I consider each of them, that is, if the number of rupees 5 coins is x, because it is 1. So, the number of rupees 2 coins is 3x, 1:3:5, and the number of rupee 1 coin is 5x. Okay. So, now the total value, it is not the total number of coins adds up to 270. You can pretty well see that it is rupees 272. That is the total valuation of all the coins taken together is 272 rupees. It is not that 5x plus 3x plus x is this. No, these are just the number of quantities they are. So, we have to understand that it is rupees of 5 into x, because 5x is an x amount. So, all the x amount of rupee 5 coins gathered together, then all the 5x amount of rupee 1 coins are taken, because all of these quantities have to be added up. So, 5x into rupee 1 and all the 3x numbers of rupee 2 coins have been taken. So, it is 3x into 2. And this entire summation of all the rupee 5 coins based on the number of 5 coins that are there, based on the number of rupee 1 coins that are there, based on the number of rupee 2 coins that are there, all of them with their total number present together will be providing me the value which is given as rupees 272. So, this is where you have to keep a check, that is it the total number of coins that has been stated, or is it the total value in amount in rupees that has been provided in the question. So, this value is 5x plus 5x plus 6x. So, it is 16x, which is equals to 272. That means x is 272 17. So the number of rupee 5 coins is X, which is 17, which is the total number of 5 rupee coin. Rupee 1 coin is 5x, that is 85, and rupee 2 coin is 3x, that is 51. So this is the total number of all the coins which has been asked in the question. So with this we complete ratio and proportions. If you have missed the previous videos, you can easily go and check out the playlist, which is Mathematics Class 8. You can get the previous videos on ratio and proportion, where I have given every detailed description, plus we have discussed a number of questions which are extremely important for your ratio and proportion. So that will be covering the entire syllabus and whatever is present from ratio and proportion. So keep practicing more and more sums. All the questions will be on this type only. The type of questions that I have discussed, they are the ultimate type of question. No question will be something outside of them. It will be the same type, and these type of questions will be only asked. So even if you practice them and questions which are related to these questions, that will be enough. Okay. So keep studying, keep watching. Thank you.